Hi friends, welcome back to Mark's Paint Shop. In this video, we're going to see how bad I messed this up. No, it ain't quite, it's good enough, okay? Because sometimes good enough is good enough. I think it's going to be all right. I'll show you what I'm talking about in a little bit. We're going with it because it's stuck, okay? It's fine. You never notice it. If I didn't tell you, you probably wouldn't notice it, but that's the way I am. I'm going to tell you. Okay, where's my charger? I can't find the charger. I don't want that thing to get too far in the shop. It stays in the shop all the time. Maybe I put it in another shop. No, I know. I took it around the other side of the shop. I want to put some air in the shocks without having to hook up all these hoses. And I brought some more gas to put up. That thing sucks gas, man. That's 750 Holly. On that little, big, small block, kind of, 371 cubic inch. It drinks the gas, especially cranking it up, pulling it out, cutting it off, cranking it up, pulling it in, cutting it off. Anyway, thanks for coming back. Thanks for watching. We're gonna see what I did to this, and we're gonna finish this thing up because I want to get it on the car ASAP. So I hope you enjoy. Okay, well, not too bad. I think I'm gonna like it. I know I'm gonna like it. Okay, and it is pretty straight in the front. Okay, it's gonna be just fine. But when Josh helped me flip it over a couple days ago, first thing he says, "Oh man, it's off in the back." And yeah. If I cut the hole straight, which I think it holds pretty straight, yeah, she's just a wee bit crooked on the back, but not a whole lot. It's about off a finger, I'd say, yeah. So, you know what I say? I say that gives it character. I don't say you're gonna be able to notice it that much, especially once I cut all this. I'm getting ready to do that now. We're gonna cut this down. Here's some of that panel bond. Man, it's tough. So I'm gonna smooth all this out a little bit better, and we're gonna spread a little fiberglass in here. Let's see if I can't build up this body line a little bit. Come in here. This one's not as important as the front one, but I think it's gonna look pretty good. I like it. It's gonna be fine. Little, like I say, a little bit crooked, pretty straight in the front, but it's just off just a little bit that way, about a finger in the back. I don't think you'll be able to notice it, but I should have trimmed it before I put it on, but it's a little rough right here where I cut it from the back side. So I'm gonna take a flapper wheel and I'm gonna go around and I'm gonna cut that edge down. It's a little deep right there, but I gotta put some fiberglass in. You'll see what I'm doing. So let's get to it. Okay, well the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flapper wheel this edge just a little bit. See if I can smooth it out some. All right, got it ground down a little bit along the edge. And I put some tape around it because I don't want filler above this line. So even if I put it all the way up to this line and I get a line there, I can sand it down. But if I'm putting it on End up sloughing it up here, and all up here it's just extra sand in it all. And it's gonna be a little more work because it is a little bit crooked. But I mean, it's not bad. You can see. I don't think it's gonna be that noticeable. Gives it a little character, but that's about all I can say about it right now. But anyway, I'm gonna mix up some fiberglass resin filler, and I'm gonna rub that all on there. All right, there's first step of the filling process. I did gob it on right there in the middle because I got to shape that a little bit. Now remember, I'm gonna put body filler over this once I sand it. I just wanted the fiberglass reinforced down between the metal edge and the fiberglass scoop. Okay, so I got it gobbed in the back too, so I can try to sand that into a little bit of a body line. I know it ain't pretty, but hopefully it's going to end up a little prettier. Now I'm going to let that dry, let that set up, then we'll come back and take some rough sandpaper and clean her up a little bit. In the meantime, this is where the charger went to. Okay. I brought it around so I put a little air in the shocks and play with the air filter, the air cleaner a little bit. I think it's still gonna be too high. We got a spacer and I put a spacer in it. I just wanted it upside as I can get it. So I got the spacer in here. I'm gonna probably have to take that down, shorten the, I got a shorter one. Probably switch that out and just put this velocity stack all the way down on it. But I think that's kind of the route I want to go. Not as pretty as the Hillborn scoop, but remember, we're going to have a hood scoop on here. So I just need to get a lot of air down in there, and the velocity stack will be nice too. I like velocity stacks. Amplifies that air coming in. And that filter right there should pull it in pretty good from that little opening in the hood scoop. And it'll still pull some from under the hood. It'll be plenty. But yeah, well there I am. Hi everybody. Get over here. Get another little picture. I thought I'd bring this up. Bring this up. Get a little more look at here. Mopar, stuff like Chevrolet in the background. Let's see, 66 Plymouth Belvedere 2, 68 Plymouth Roadrunner, actual Roadrunner, factory 4-speed car, and a 73 Charger SE with a totally different running gear in it. Got to get back on the Camaro. Of course, the shop truck. Let me get back on that too. Hey, there's that fella again. Hey. Still like this thing. I'm gonna drive this some more, I guess I should say. Oh, shining off that, glaring off that Arctic White. Hot Rod Flats Arctic White satin. No shop truck, hadn't done any more to that. It must be for sale though, because I see somebody has put a deposit on it. I think it's a lot of interest in it, a whole lot of deposits. At least it's on the one panel I do want to repaint. I do not get it. It's not a power line right above here at all. They must just come over and sit on the, see all the little footy prints. Must just sit on the hood and poop. Oh well, just old shop truck. I like it there. All right, let's get back to work on that hood scoop because I like that. Because I am looking forward to that scoop being on this thing. Even if it is just a wee bit crooked, it's all right. Well, I figured on the last video, I showed y'all that little water leak. Probably some of y'all were yelling at the screen, you big dummy. Well, I kind of figured it out really before I put out the video, but we'll see if they can say anything about it. I checked my boat, the water pump boat. I've been taking them out to redo the alternator, the belt, and all this stuff. Yeah, the water pump about to fall off. I scrubbed them up. Hope it didn't hurt the gasket too much. Maybe it will seal up. It's probably where it was coming from, kind of seeping out of the bolt hole, running down this bracket. Let me turn this thing on. So I think maybe it was coming, running down the, running out of the bolt hole and running down that bracket, maybe, possibly, and dripping off the bottom of it. Now, that's what I'm thinking now. I ain't tightened the cap this time, so I ain't get pressure on it. But we'll check it out. Hopefully that's all it was. I did snug them up a little bit. Wasn't quite about to fall off, but they were a little loose where I worked on the alternator, and it was a wee bit loose on this side where I've been working on the power steering. So I'm hoping that's all it was. I might need to pull it back down and reseal it, but I think that's all it is. Let's get back on that hood scoop. All right. Oh yeah. All right. Now she's a real gobbling mess, ain't she? All right, let's see if I can find some sandpaper and see what we can do here. It's getting there. It's getting there. It's going to look so much better on the car. What I've been wanting. What I've been wanting. Yeah, I'll probably have to bring that velocity stack down a little bit. It ain't going to stick up that much, but I'll just take that spacer out and put another bolt in it. Another stud in the carburetor, air cleaner stud, whatever you call it. And that air cleaner will be drawing air right there. Piece of 40 grit just folded over. If I don't have any sheets of 40 grit. And I've been going around it hand sanding. All kinds of stuff like this is going to take a whole lot of hand sanding. Still got a little bit of tape on the front here. I gotta get that off. Mostly trying to get the back of it pretty close because I do want to put the hood back on the car. In this video, you know, might be Sunday. I think Josh might come by and we might put the hood on. So I can get all around it pretty easy on the car. It'll be a little bit more difficult on the back, so I'm trying to get that as close as I can while I can get back to it. Remember, this is the fiberglass filler. That's mostly filling in the holes, the cracks, and all that. I'm going to get this smooth, and then I'm going to put, the plastic filler on it. Most people say Bondo, but Bondo is the name brand, and I use Evercoat. I have used Bondo, it's fine. Okay, here is the fiberglass. I could sand on it another couple of hours, but I think I got it pretty smooth. Now remember, the fiberglass is mostly just filling that gap. It's low right there. That's fine. All I want to do is fill the gap between the scoop and the hood. It's real close on this side, remember. A little bit further on this side, you can see that's where the gap was. Okay, so now that's sealed up good, and these are all low spots, of course, and that's fine because it's still in there. There's plenty in there. I packed it in when I did it. Those are all low spots. Now I'm gonna bring the filler up. I'm gonna go ahead and put the filler on now. I'm gonna have to do a little more tweaking on that, but remember, I'm trying to get it at least close. So we can get it on the car. So I can still reach all this pretty good, even over the fenders. Yeah, so I'd probably be right about here. I can still reach pretty good. Yeah, so all right, I wipe that down. Let me go ahead and put a little filler on it. And that's gonna about do it for tonight. It's getting a little bit later. Running out of daylight. All right, I bet you that's going to be pretty close. I'm gonna fool with it again tonight. Got that on, got it set up. Yeah, I ran it up a little high on this side, a little on this side, but I put enough on it to feather edge. Gobbed it in the middle because remember I got to build this body line right here. So I have to hand sand that. I tried to get it pretty even on the scoop because that's harder to sand on and not mess it up. This side's a little jaggedy. Then the hood's easy to sand on. It's flat and it's metal. And you ain't gonna sand the hole in that metal hood, but you will sand a hole or a crease in that fiberglass scoop. Now see, it's a whole lot less filler than if I'd have put it on top. If I'd have put the scoop on top, it would have been sitting up, if you get it down as much as you can, and then you got to cut that edge off that fiberglass, not the lip, but just that ridge, and then start filling it. You'd have filler probably out to at least here. So with this, most of this is going to sand off. Any of y'all familiar with body filler? Most of it's going to end up in the floor. But I'll still probably have to put a little bit more here and there. I might have to put a whole nother little skim on it. But I bet you this is going to be pretty close. Now it's just got a whole lot of hand sanding to do on this to get it right. But there we go. For now, it's getting dark outside. I'm gonna let that set up, and I'm gonna move the hood back up here and bring your car in. That's gonna be it for tonight. Like I say, this is Wednesday, so I'll get back on it probably Saturday or at least Sunday. I'll do some things, and we'll try to get it on the car. Now this is still the 40 grit. So I'm just trying to cut it down and shape it. Next I'm gonna go with 80 grit. I already see where I might need some more body filler, but I'm trying to get it close now so I can get a little coat of primer on it, and then we can get it back on the hood, on the car. So if I can get the back of it a little closer, like I said before, that's a little harder to get to when it's on the car. So I'm focusing on that a little bit more right now, but I'm trying to get it pretty smooth all the way around. I think I'm gonna need a little more filler. Alright, I got it about as close as I can with the 40 grit. And it's not bad. It's close. I think I'm gonna need to fill a little bit more here because I feel it kind of going downhill towards the scoop. You can see that's the edge. A lot of that might be okay or close. This side feels better. I think this side's gonna be all right once I do a little more block sand with 80 grit. I can feel this side's a little bit of a little rough. It's gonna need a little more filler right here. Most of it feels pretty good, especially for just coming off a 40 grit. So now I'm going to have a little more work doing the front there. I've been just rough sanding these peaks. If I can get it to come up as a peak and then kind of flatten out a little bit, what I'm shooting for is a little more like this as it goes into the middle of the hood. See, it's not a peak all the way back. It's a peak, and then it kind of flattens out. So that's what I'm kind of shooting for the front and back. You can see the edge of the metal. You don't feel it as much, but it's there. So I'm gonna need a little more filler back here, but this side might be all right. But now I'm gonna block sand it. Yeah, block sand it like this, it's fine. 80 grit with a stir stick, because it keeps it flat. Okay. I'm going to really start to shape up now. I was cut with that 40 and now I'm going to 80. So let me get a little bit of that and I'll show you that. All right, I've got it pretty much feather edged. I'm definitely going to need to put a little more filler. Like I said, you can see right here, it's low. So it's going to need more here. Maybe a little more in here to work that some, but I definitely need some right here. It's almost a hole. But it feathered out pretty good. I got places like that. I still got a lot of sanding to do, but it's close. Okay, and right now, that's what I'm trying to do is get it close. I'm gonna put a coat, or a couple coats maybe, of high-build sandable primer on it now. I'm just using rattle can because that's all I'm doing right now. I ain't mixing in other primers and stuff, so I just got this right here. It is a, see, it's basically a 2K sandable primer. for a rattle can. Not bad. So I'm gonna put a couple coats of that on it. That helps cover the scratches and prime this too. So I've sanded the scoop itself. So just want to show you how feather edged it in there. It's going to be a whole lot more block sanding and a lot more filling. But this is going to be pretty good and pretty close. So let me go ahead and get that. All right, well, I moved the camera back a little bit. I know you won't see quite as good, but I don't want to get any overspray on it. I got a little bit on it when I sprayed that truck. I don't want to get more on it. I know it's just rattle can, but it'll still put out a little bit of overspray. So let's just get a little bit on here, see what it looks like. All right, I want to let y'all know again, this is not the finished product. This is not the way it's going to stay. I even threw that sandable primer on there so heavy in a couple places it ran a little bit, but that's okay because it's sandable primer and I'm going to be sanding it. In some of these places, I'm going to be putting more filler. I'm going to have to touch it up in a couple of spots. I still got sanding to do on the front. Well, I got sanding to do on all of it, but it's close. You know, it's a whole lot better than it was. And you see spots like that, it's got to be worked some more. You see the filler. See, I'm going to fix all that. Okay, but the primer, the spots that are already fixed pretty good, the feather edge and all, this primer will help fill all them scratches. And it'll fill the little scratches on the scoop where I sanded that too. That's what it needs. But it's going to be all right. Got a little more work to do, but what I want to do now, I'm running out of time. See, there's places like that. It needs a lot of fine tuning, fine sanding. That's all that takes. Most of it, I think, is going to be in pretty good shape other than sanding. Like I say, it's a couple places I got to have more filler, obviously, here. And this whole edge right here. And a little bit down here. It's going to need a little more filler. And it might need little dabs here and there like that spot. But for the most part, it's pretty good. And see, it's going to take a lot of sanding, primer, to really get that edge, that feather edge good. So you can see it across there. I got a lot more to do. But it's getting there. Scoops aren't easy. They're not easy to do. They're not quick. They're not fast. Well, nobody does them anymore. But I like them and I want it. But most likely, as far as I know, Josh and Laura's going to come over tomorrow. And if so, we're going to put it on the car. Because I can finish up what I need on the car, but I want it on the car. So let's see how that goes. Okay, well, there it is. I meant to get some video of us putting the hood back on. But it's a little cold up here today. This is actually Sunday. This is Sunday about 4:30. Laura and Josh just left. And Josh and I just, well, Laura, all of us came up here and Josh and I grabbed the hood, and Laura was putting the bolts in, and we just had it on. We hadn't adjusted it much. Still got a little adjustment need to do, but had it on, and I was like, crap. I meant to video us putting it on. But there we go. I showed you that. Well, I just showed you a minute ago. I still got a little more body work to do, but I can still reach it just fine. Got dust all over the car right now. All over. I'll show you what it looks like from in here. Cool. I like that. It's gonna look good going down the road. Yep, I like it. And you can't even tell it's a wee bit crooked. Not much. Even Josh said you'd never know it after I filled it and all. I still got this little spot here I gotta rub a little filler on. Or I cut it with the wheel. But I'll clean all that up. I think it's gonna be all right. I think it's gonna be just fine. And of course, this is sandable primer. I'm gonna sand it and do a little more body work and all. Then when I finish it, I'm gonna just black the whole thing. And it's just got dust all over it now, mostly. Black the whole hood. And that'll be it for that for a while. But it is on. We'll consider this accomplished, even though I got a little more fine tuning to do. Here's a little shot of it underneath. I think it looks pretty good. I'm sure it'll get shot black too in a couple of little spots, no biggie. And I took the spacer out, velocity stack, and it works. It fits in there good. Sticks up just a little bit. It goes right up in the scoop. So I'm happy. I'm very pleased with all that. Fits in there good. Yep. All right, well, that's going to wrap up this video on the hood scoop. Now, we're not completely done. I know I've said that a bunch of times too, but I got a little more fine tuning to do. So I don't know. I might slip a little bit of this in another video. I'm not going to do another whole video on the scoop, not just yet. It's on, it's good for now. I'm gonna do a little more sanding and filling spots. And I'll show you, if I don't bring you along for each little step of that, I'll show you what it is. I've shown you what this is, and you know what I need to do. So I really appreciate you watching. If you didn't see some of the others, go back and see the process of how we got here and what we're doing now. Like I said, it's not gonna be white. This is just primer. I'm gonna work this, okay? So when I get her about done, I'm gonna shoot black primer back on it, because hopefully before too long, I don't know if it's gonna be this season or not, but hopefully before long, I'm gonna paint the whole car. Okay, but that's on down the road a little bit. I got a little more body work to do. I got to finish on the roof. So we're gonna have more on this car, but I'm not gonna try to bore you to death with the hood scoop. But there it is. I like it. I think it looks good. It's gonna look real good once I get it finished out in black. I like it. And then when I paint it, I'm gonna paint the hood. The hood's not gonna stay black. When I paint the hood, I'm gonna paint the car, I'm gonna paint everything. The top's gonna probably be black. Well, I'm gonna do that, but the car is gonna be all one color, whatever I decide. Probably a green. I like the way it is, but we'll see. Like I say, we'll burn that bridge when we get to it. But thanks for coming back. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Just hit that little button and you'll subscribe if you're not already. I really do appreciate it. You're helping me out. And come back to see me, and I'll be here, good Lord willing, and I'll see you at the shop. Now remember, subscribe. Thanks.